In this final part of my Mahabalipuram exploration, I head towards the Pancha Rathas, just a short kilometer away from the main rock reliefs. The ticket I bought at the entrance is valid for all the monument groups in Mahabalipuram. Join me as I uncover the stories and architectural marvels of the Pancha Rathas. The best known are the 5 monolithic structures projecting above the beach, known as the 5 Rathas or the Pandava Rathas. The 5 Ratha group is on a north-south axis with the Dharma Raja Ratha at the south end, followed by the Bhima, Arjuna and Draupadi Rathas, the latter to share a common platform. There is a lion west of the Arjuna-Draupadi platform, a seated bull on its east, and a standing elephant on its southwest. The Nakula and Sahadeva Ratha is northwest of Bhima Ratha and southwest of Arjuna Ratha, behind the elephant. The cross-sectional axis of the Nakula and Sahadeva Ratha is in the center of the group. All the temples have a west entrance except the Nakula Sahadeva Ratha, which has a south entrance. The Draupadi Ratha is north of Arjuna Ratha, and they share a platform. Dedicated to Draupadi, whose image is carved on the rear wall, it resembles a wooden hut and has a curved roof. Arjuna Ratha, adjacent to Bhima Ratha, is also incomplete. One of the larger monuments, it is about 6 times smaller in area than the Dharmaraja Ratha. The Dharmaraja Ratha has a square floor plan within a rectangular frame. It has an open porch supported by pillars. The temple's pyramidal tower consists of a vimana of shrinking squares capped by an octagonal shikhra. There is evidence that it had, or was intended to have, a finial. Its pillars have seated lions at the base. It has 3 levels. The lowest is solid, probably never carved out, and the upper to have shrines. The 2 upper levels are connected by stairs carved into the stone. The middle level has 2 shrines, and the uppermost has 1. The Ratha walls have carvings and inscriptions, one mentioning Narsimha Varman I. The western side of the top story has a Somaskanda image. The entablature integrates the secular with the divine, where human faces peek out of the kudu arches of the chariot. An Amaravati motif is carved below the cornice. Bhima Ratha, next to the Dharmaraja Ratha, is massive and has a roof resembling a vaulted barrel reminiscent of woodwork. Its incomplete interior was probably intended to house a reclining Vishnu Ananta Shaina. Unlike the other Rathas, the temple has no inscriptions or sculptures. Its Vimana is intricately carved on both sides of the roof. The cornice has 7 pairs of kudus. Above it are alternating salas and kutas, types of ediculae, forming 13 small vimanas. Above this layer are 5 grivas, necks, clerestory, carved into the shrine, like a niche flanked by small pilasters. The 2 on each side are the same size, and the middle one is larger. There is structural evidence on the top of 18 original kalshas and 2 tridents. The unfinished Nakula Sahadeva Ratha is the 2-storied Vesra-style temple. It has kutas and sala-style ediculae like the others, but is unique in also having panjaras and apsidal edicula. After immersing myself in the rich history and stunning architecture of the Pancha Rathas, I hopped into an auto rickshaw and headed towards the Shore Temple, a magnificent monument just 1 kilometer away from the main rock reliefs. Join me as I capture the vibrant local vibes during the ride and marvel at the coastal charm of the Shore Temple, which stands proudly against the backdrop of the Bay of Bengal. After being dropped off by the auto rickshaw, I found myself in a lively, crowded area with shops and vendors lining the streets. I didn't waste time for lunch, just grabbed some quick snacks and headed straight for the entrance. The same ticket I purchased earlier works here too. Additionally, there are buggy rides, operated by local ladies, available exclusively for senior citizens, that take you from the ticket entrance directly to the main spot. The shore temple complex is near the Mahabalipuram shore, hence its modern name. It consists of a large temple to smaller temples and many minor shrines, open halls, gateways, and other elements, much of which is buried by sand. The main temple is within a two-tier compound wall with statues of Shiva's Vahana, vehicle, Nandi, surrounding it. The 60-foot high temple has a 50-square-foot plan. It is a stepped pyramidal tower, arranged in 5 tiers with Shiva iconography. The temple includes a path around its main sanctum and a large, barrel-vaulted roof above its doorway. Pilasters on the outer wall divide it into bays. The temple is steeper and taller than the Arjuna and Dharmaraja Rathas, with a similar design in which the superstructure repeats the lower level in a shrinking square form. An octagonal shikhra and kalsha, pot-shaped finials cap the tower. A small temple in the original forecourt of the larger temple. The other 2 temples in the complex are behind the main temple, face each other, and are known as the Raja Sinheswara or Nripti Sinha Pallava Vishnu Griha and the Kshatriya Sinheswara. The main shrine has Vishnu and Durga images. The rear temple walls are carved with Somaskanda bas-relief panels depicting Shiva, Parvati, and the infant Skanda. Most of its Nandi sculptures were in ruins and scattered around the main temple complex. 20th century restoration efforts replaced them in accordance with the inscriptions, descriptions of the temple in medieval texts, and excavations of layers which confirmed that Nandi bulls were seated along its periphery. The Shiva temples have been dated to the early 8th century and are attributed to the reign of the Pallava king Rajasimha, 700 to 728. The Vishnu temple, with an image of a reclining Vishnu discovered after excavations, has been dated to the 7th century. And with that, I wrap up my Mahabalipuram Monuments trip. I hope you all enjoyed this exploration as much as I did. Stay tuned for my next video as I head to another state of India. Until then, take care and bye.